Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. Today I have another walkthrough of a journal for you. This is another of my summer flea market style traveler's notebooks, and this is a chunky one. This is a really fun journal. So these journals are kind of themed around what I think a fun summer would be like, and so it's a lot of nature and like flea market style, going to flea markets, museums, antique stores, art galleries. So those are the kind of themes that these journals have in them. So the cover of this one has a pocket on the front outside, and it's made from a masterboard that I collaged entirely myself. It has a closure using just this lovely long biased seam binding. So you just unwind the whole thing, and you'll see under here there's an envelope in this front pocket that hides this eyelet. So there's eyelets in front and back to close your journal with, and this is nice and long, so you can wrap it around as many times as you like if you want to stuff this. This journal is ephemera stuffed for sure, but you could add more to it if you wanted to. The front pocket has this beautiful bug guide. It's the Colorado potato beetle, and it's from a bug guide, and the back has some really fun imagery too. And the spine is fabric bound with a 5-hole binding. Then in here tucks this envelope that I've made. This is made from vintage paper, music paper, and it has these butterflies from another field guide, and it has this lovely poem here from a vintage book. And on back, just a bit of collaging. And on the inside of the envelope, which is entirely stitched around, there is a vintage postcard. And all it says is Chatham, which is a city in Canada. And it's like the inside of like some kind of a hall. So that just tucks on in there. More journaling space. Maybe you could send a letter in it while you're away on your vacation. Okay, so let's just put all the strings at the back here and open it on up. So on the inside we have this nice kind of gray suit fabric that I've made a pocket out of. I'm just going to pause for one moment. It looks like my camera could be adjusted just a little bit. One moment. There we go. Okay. So in the front pocket, there is just this little journal card that's made from an oversized playing card that's been collaged with this fairy on the front. And on the back it says, "Among the green weeds." And that just pops in here. And on this side we have this stitched on pocket that's made from a corduroy. It's actually from vintage clothing, and it's on this botanical paper. It's from a vintage botanical book, and we have a little silk tab down here stitched on. So there's two pockets in this. One is actually a pocket. And so in the back we have this tab that I've made. It's a journal tag. Scranton filet nets and lace curtains. So it's from a vintage curtain ad, and that just tucks in here. And then this is just a little whimsical tag here, and it just pops right in here. On this side we have a lace belly band, and inside here we have this little envelope that I made. It says, "When up aloft I fly and fly, I see in pools the shining sky, and a happy bird am I, am I." And this little envelope is made from a book page, and I just put inside of it a few fun little things, just like little blank stamps that you could use. There's 2 of them in there, and that just tucks in here. And on this side we have this lace belly band on top of this beautiful paper cameo page, and this is a journal card. I've added this fun couple here, and it's on a book page, and it has this long lace on the front. Or I guess it's not really lace, it's more like trim, but it's very fun. And this paper was cabbage dyed. So this is a pocket here that has a few sections, so I'll just pull everything out. So on the back we have a Rorschach painted page with some bright neon colors. And then this is made from a book page, and it's 1, 2, 3 pockets. There's a little fairy down here and a label that says "Late in the Season." So on back we have this Botanica collection tag from Paper Cameo, and that pops in the very back. Then we have this whimsical little bird tag. I completely forget where I got this digital, but it's fun. This is also from Paper Cameo. It's another little tag, and it just pops here. And then this is like a little Halloween feeling kind of pain cure advertisement, and it just pops in here. The back of the digital printing, I've just done some fun like paint swipes. And then this is from a vintage children's book. I've made a little pocket here. And this is a digital page from a honey and like a bee themed kit. Then I made this tag. It says Tremendous Tree, and it's a collage. Coffee dyed paper. This is a dandelion page, and it's been coffee dyed as well. And then this is a rusty paper clip that I've used to attach this vintage photograph, and it's on a heavy kind of card paper, like a matted paper. It's come out of a vintage photo album, so that just tucks on there. And this is a little pocket that I made with this vintage paper trim, and there's this bee here. And this is a tag, a journal tag that I made out of 2 paint samples, and it just says Chapter 3 and a little stamp there and some linen fabric. And then this little postcard, journal card. And then just some lined paper from Nature Study, and they have little ladybugs. And then we have an upper tuck pocket here. This is made from a linen fabric with this beautiful embroidered flower, and I've stitched on this little mini like memo, I guess, from a seed catalog. It's like a little check kind of. And then this is a tag that I made with this chipmunk and tiger lily. Botanical paper and a little fabric and vintage button collage. And then this is like a little napkin that I made a tuck spot with, and this is a journal card that says Bowl of Life in Our Hands, and that's made from a vintage art magazine. This is a jelly print that I made. And then this is a pocket made sort of out of 3 pieces of like paper. They've been stitched together, and it makes like a freeform shaped pocket. And this is a large label that I printed with a flower sticker, and it says antique. And then this is a journal card with some mushrooms, and it just pops in here. This is cabbage dyed scrapbook paper and a little fabric collage. And a little tuck spot made from a vintage napkin that was embroidered. And this is a tag that I made from an image from a vintage advertising book. And it is on my own scanned botanical fabric vintage paper. And this is a little paper sack. It says, it has botanicals on the front, and it's got French writing and a little postcard in French that matches the same kit with coffee dyed paper on the back, and it just pops in here. And then just this beautiful page, botanicals and lovely writing. It's been coffee dyed. This is another botanical page with some nice pink lace on the side, ribbon. And then I made a large lace pocket with this purple lace, and you can see some flowers poking out. And this is a tag that I made. It says Soar with the Wind, and it's got this little girl here and some fabric in the background. Coffee dyed paper. This is from a butterfly guide, and so it's a flip out. And this is actually children's writing paper. They trace the writing. And this is just a beautiful like butterfly botanical digital with some nice lace down the side. Coffee dyed paper. This is actually like a 70s embroidery guide of a bouquet of flowers. And then this pocket is made from vintage music paper, and I've added this cute bird, and the whole page is just birds, birds, birds. This tag is from the cover of a vintage birding book. It says Little Forest Birds Always Know. And then this is from a vintage gardening book. It's just some beautiful leafy photography. And then this is a coffee dyed botanical page. This is from a vintage gardening book. And on back we have this lace and fabric pocket and some nice shiny lace down the side here. And inside we have this fabric tag that I made with butterflies on it. And on the back, this is actually nature study coffee dyed paper, and it's you document the sunset time. And on this side we have a few things going on. So a couple different pockets. So this upper pocket with this mushroom, and it says Enchanted Forest. It has this journal card inside that says From a Long Distance. And it's on my own scanned fabric paper. And then down here in this little garden calendar 1898 tuck, we've got this little image of these little toads. And then we just have this, this is just botanical paper, or sorry, watercolored paper. And then this is the center of this journal. It's this beautiful digital image that just makes me feel like everything is cooling down. You know, sometimes you need a breather on a hot summer day. That is the center of this journal, to just center you. And this is an image from Release the Crafton, from her, actually from her winter, one of her winter kits. And I just really love it. I know this is a summer journal, but this is your chill out. You're at the center of your journal moment. And then this is just watercolor dyed paper, coffee dyed paper. This is more of my vintage botanical paper in back here. And then this is a rusty paper clip holding on to this large journal card. It says, As Lost in the Daylight as in the Dark. And it has this fairy sitting on a toadstool. And it's collaged and coffee dyed on back. Fabric pocket from a vintage garden book, and this is a fun tag that I made. It was like a vintage image from like a 1970s book about like the turn of the century and different kinds of jobs that people had, and these were like snake charmers, and you can see like there are a couple and they both have snakes. So I just added a little stamp here, and I added this snake at the bottom, and some nice fabric up top from a suit that I've chopped up. And then this is just coffee dyed paper, this botanical digital, and a vintage garden book page, coffee dyed paper with this little button and fabric collage and little deers. And this is more of that embroidery guideline paper that sort of shows you how to embroider a bouquet of flowers. This is a rusty paper clip holding on to, well, there's the other side of that beautiful image that I kind of wish I had embroidered, but yeah, I have no time. And this is a large journal card that I collaged, and this is a fabric bird that's been stitched on, and it was from a baby dress that my daughter wore a long time ago, and I washed it and cut it up and made these cute little pieces of ephemera because it's so sweet. So that just stitches on here, or clips. And this is coffee dyed paper, and it's actually a beautiful digital page. I forget whose page that is, but it's really nice. And then these are jelly printed. I just cut out these ovals with one of my punches and made like a lily out of them, and it's on that tracing paper, the nature study tracing paper. And this is a little journal card that says Marvelous Realm of Fairyland, and it's a little fairy there with some fabric. Coffee dyed paper with a little fabric tab, and I put a little charm on here. I'll bring this up so you can see it. It's got a little blue jewel in it. And more botanical paper, coffee dyed paper. This is a little paper sack, and inside we have this, which says Glistening in the Moonlight, and it has little bird eggs on it, and it's been stitched through. And on back we have this. This is just vintage cabbage dyed paper with a botanical theme, a vintage playing card, the number 9, with like a salesman on it, and it holds on to this journal card that says When Cloudy Was the Weather. And then this is just a little belly band made from this February 1918 paper. And this is an original ephemera. It's a bookmark that I found in a vintage book from Every Man's Bookshop, Books for Every Man, from Montreal. So yeah, and it's got that like really cool cutout. This is scrapbook paper that was cabbage dyed. This is coffee dyed paper with this fabric tab, and on back, this is another Release the Craft In page from that same winter kit. And I love these butterflies, and I added some embroidered vintage fabric as the tab. This is a jelly printed page, coffee dyed. Botanical page with some lace up the side. And then this is just a fun little like heart-shaped notebook that's rusty paper clipped on. It's got all sorts of things. It's got like some theater, some music, just some blank paper, some postage paper, like vintage book paper, just a bunch of little, it's just like a little booklet with map and like all sorts of stuff that, you know, we use in making junk journals. And I thought it would just be fun to use to just either write in or to collage with. And it just clips on here. This is just a little nature study page with just some black border. And that just clips on there. And we have a little bird, and it says early one morning, coffee dyed paper. And this is a little bee and some old paper that's been inked, and coffee dyed paper. And this is more of that dandelion page. And then clipped on we have a vintage document, actually. Maple Dodge, Lewin, Taos, New Mexico. And it's a handwritten letter to this guy, Mr. Willstock. And I'm going to be making a video about him, or about a couple letters that I found that he typed on onion skin paper. I should probably keep this one, but I'm not going to. It's kind of fun to pass these things on. And it's on really nice paper. So this is coffee dyed paper, and on back this is sort of a side pocket tab made from a children's book page, and it is on like a bee page, and it has this little hippo. This is like a free-form journaling card, and it says, I wish I had wings so I could fly wherever, whenever, however high. And it's a little hippo with wings. And then this is just the back of a jelly printed or a Rorschach printed page, so it's got some paint splotches, and I've clipped on it a piece of vintage ephemera. It's actually a yarn sample card with wool yarns on it from an old weaving store from the 70s. And that's the neon Rorschach painting that I did. This is coffee dyed paper with this little leaf at the bottom. More coffee dyed paper. It's like a beautiful paper cameo page. And then this is a journal card that I made. It says empty-handed but light-hearted mischief maker, and I just collaged that. And this is the back page, which is this. I found these, there's one in each of these summer flea market journals, and they were inside the case of vintage like 45 records, and it had this really cool like indentations, or like really deeply embossed. I don't know what caused them, but like it's really cool. So I just added some vintage candy stickers at the bottom. And this is a botanical page that it's clipped to at the back. So this just clips on here with a rusty paper clip. There we go. And then this one I need to clip back on here as well. There we go. And then the very back page here, we have a pocket with butterflies on the inside and a couple things on the inside. So the first is this large tag that I made from vintage children's books and just fabric and like different bits and bobs that I collaged with, and I added some jute ribbon at the top. It says tickle the treetops. And so you can see the back all collaged, and that tucks in there. And then this is just the note from the bookmaker from me with the date. This is journal number 77, and it's signed. So that is this journal. I thank you so much for joining me for the flip through of this journal. And then to close it up, we just wrap this around as many times and whatever direction we like until we're happy with it. And yeah, there's lots of options there because this is a super long piece of binding. So if you are interested in this journal or any of the others from this series, they will be going up in my Etsy shop if this video is posted or shortly thereafter. There will be 12 in total. I'll be kind of staggering them over the next couple of weeks. I haven't finished all of them yet, so there will be more coming. And thanks so much for joining me. Please check out my social media, including my shop, which is posted below in the description box, and have a great day. Bye for now.